welcome to the channel. My name is Piotr Kowalczyk, and in today's video we are exploring a horn section for beginners. We are proving that horn section doesn't have to be difficult. You can write great lines for horns today without any knowledge. We are exploring that subject by using unison and octave technique. Let's get started. The basic idea of writing for horns doesn't go beyond the fingering, the mouthpiece, the amount of pressure the lips create, articulation dynamic, none of it. I'm not an instrumentalist, I just write the notes for that instrument. So now the range of motion is less important today. Also, the transposition, the worst thing ever, it's out of the window, which means no knowledge, no problem. We can write great horns today, and today's video kind of extends upon that subject. Let's take a look, enjoy it. We all have something called vision and intuition. Vision allows you to picture this horn section playing certain phrases. I can see them interact with each other, spinning the trumpets, playing a specific punches. So I have a groove in mind, and they complement it. So I watch them carefully, and they wait, and all of a sudden they raise the instruments and they blow a specific phrase. The visual helps me to see the whole spectacle. Now I have to translate what I see through the sound. The sound doesn't exist. It has to manifest in my head. The best way to manifest it is through singing. I'm gonna sound doom ba dip do bom ba da ba dum do ba da bom bam ba da ba dum do ba da bom ba da ba dum ba da do do bom ba da ba ba. So I already know I have a confirmation of the sound, what I hear in my head, and the visual interaction of the horn section with the entire band. Being on stage, being on the practice room, a rehearsal, right? Something like that. So now I've got two confirmations in my head, the visual and the sound wiles. I'm already hearing that sound. I already see that interaction. Now I need to grab it and somehow translate it through my instrument. It could be your cell phone when you hit record and say tum ba-da-ba-da-bum ba-da-ba-dum ba-ba-da-bum bum bum ba-da-ba-dum ba-di-ba-da-bum, right? Something like that. And then just gave it to someone who can translate it into notes. Or you can do it yourself. You can start writing horns today by translating what you hear and what you see with your inner eyes into the instrument. The best way to translate this is through the music notation paper. You write it down. If the skill of music notation is beyond your abilities, you can memorize your fingers on the instrument. Once we have this platform kind of settled and ready to go, now we can translate this into your DAW. We've done some prep work for this video. We came up with horn phrases, what we would like to play for you right now. So this is the sequence number 1, and the horns and the rhythm section sounds like this. We have a desire to play this tune in a much faster tempo than now. The reason why we're doing it in a slow motion, I want to make sure that those horns are settled in a rhythm. So there's like tum pa ta pa pa putu pom pa pom. Okay, I want to make sure that they do exactly that. Just remember, horn section, it's an extension of the rhythm section. Okay, so they interact with the bass line. If you listen it carefully, the bass line creates like a settlement from time to time. They use that settlement to express their notes. And of course, we can dive into the dynamics and articulation and basically polish this phrase further than now. Now, our BPM is set for 160. Our goal is to go for 176. That's the tempo we have in mind. We are going to create a brand new sequence. The best way to do it is to copy the sequence, and we are going to name it sequence 2, how original, and do it. So now we don't worry about this sequence easy drummer. For some reason, MPCX creates additional sequence when I transfer the drum set. Sequence number 2. My sequence is gonna be organized under the sequence number 1. It comes with the plugins, tracks, everything else. So I don't have to worry about, getting lost in a new sequence. Now, the MPCX SE allows me to play horns on these pads. I just load specific instrument into the software. And then use that sound spread through the pads. Of course, we've got layers of different, like I can go lower, I can go lower, so on. So if piano is not your best friend, you can use the pads on this sampler. since we copied the sequence includes the essence of the previous one. So now we are in a horn section. So now I'm gonna delete the essence. And since I'm deleting it, you're going to hear just the rhythm section, no horns. So this is the rhythm section. Of course, we're going to polish. I like the bass line, so maybe we can keep it. The drum set, we can keep it for now. I can definitely polish a piano, like play something else to create a little bit of contrast between sequence number 1 and 2. Human ear likes to be teased by the music. Now, if I copy the same sequence twice and play it, there is like no entertainment. It's like I'm hearing it and I'm hearing it again. So changing some of the factors during this sequence number 2, it's very important. Okay, it's like, oh, there's something new. Oh, there's something new, like eliminating horn section, for example. Now I can hear the piano. Interesting how they interact with each other, bass and piano. I didn't hear it during the first time. The horns were the essence of that hearing. We are going to slow the music down to 160. We have horns. Beautiful. And now we are going to record the music we heard in our head. Our goal is to choose a VST plugin what sounds like horns. Today we are choosing a plugin from Native Instruments. I believe it's called Session Horns, and it's a part of that Contact library. This section in blue allows me to see the potential of the horn playing. So this is my range of motion. So it's like, okay, I'm fine. I don't have to be extremely low. I don't have to be extremely high. If I play on the middle, I should be safe. That's the mindset. Let's just increase the volume. Increasing the volume of that instrument allows me to be closer to it. Now I put myself in the shoes of that instrumentalist. So I could imagine holding a trombone, or trumpet, or saxophone. Okay, now I'm looking for possibilities. What I can play. I feel the music, I hear the music, and I try to come up with some motif or phrase. So every time I try to play something different, there will be a moment in time that I'm gonna catch something. It's like, oh, this is great. This could work. And then you develop it. All right, this is the phrase what we have. At least that's what we hear in our head. So let's just record it. You see the horn section, it's part of the rhythm section. The rhythm section grooves underneath. I try to present the horn section as an extension of that feel. To feel it more, I'm gonna slow the sequence down so I can tape these notes one by one very carefully. So slowing the tempo, metronome, and we're going to type one specific melody. All right, we have a specific voicing in mind, and guess what? We just manifested the whole concept into the AW. Once it's there, now we can manipulate it. We can go to editing mode and basically listen carefully and fix certain things. Right? The length of each note, the dynamic, the articulation. If we don't like the level of that note, we can just grab it. If you look at this example, I can grab ba ba da 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 ba. Let's copy this note. And we are going to spell it. You see, we just personalized that moment. Let's take a listen. Papaya. Let's make more splash. Here. Yeah. Ba ba da ba ba ba. Excellent. Okay, so these notes, all these notes can be manipulated that way. So this is the editing mode. You go and we fix the problems. We move things around until they are done. We are about to copy that phrase. Before we copy this phrase, I'm thinking I would love to polish it first. Why is that? I want to polish it to perfection. Organize it, write notes, right? Like everything sounds the way I like it. Because when we copying it, we are copying it exactly, we're duplicating exactly the same version of that. If we copy a phrase with lots of mistakes and imperfections, we kind of double down on that mess. Look, we select all and we copy. Now look what happened. I'm gonna move my marker just tiny bit forward and we are going to drop it. Now I'm gonna grab this dropped section and move it 1 octave lower. Now our horns are played in octaves. can write great horns today without any knowledge, and this is the example. These are the horns, what we can write today, and they already sound wonderful. If you think about elevating this performance to another level, we cannot get there without a specific knowledge, the knowledge of building chords in music. You see, if I start harmonizing this melody, which we will do eventually, I will have to have a decent, or at least basic idea how the chords are built, the structural built, and also all these colors what sit between. We call them scales. Without that knowledge, it's really hard to harmonize it or have a conversation about it, because we kind of enter a chapter, an available chapter to us. So the recommendation is that you may consider taking the advantage of learning chords in music. The same thing towards the music notation, because I would love to write this melody down, okay? And then basically pursue something more advanced, more complicated. But for now, this should be enough. The question of the day is, what is your experience with horns so far? Let me know in a comment. Until then, my name is Piotr Kowalczyk. I will see you next time.